My name is Isabel Strouse. I'm graduating in May with degrees in biological sciences and psychology, and I'm a part of the Bimonte-Nelson Neuroscience of Memory and Aging Research Laboratory. So we research the effects of hormones on memory and learning across the lifespan, and we have a specific emphasis on women's health. So we study a lot of rat models of menopause and hormone therapy and birth control to determine how cognitively use of those hormones will impact memory and learning with aging. So we do a lot of community outreach. We have always been a part of Night of the Open Door. At ASU, we host brain fairs that bring Title I elementary school students to ASU and expose them to neuroscience and education, and we really try to drive home why getting a college degree is so important and try to spark passion for education in those students. And we also most years go to Red Mountain during their STEM day and host a brain booth over there too to get some high school students exposed to neuroscience. So my honors thesis was evaluating the effects of intrauterine device use on memory and learning in a rat model, where an intrauterine device or an IUD is a form of contraception that a lot of women use. And right now clinically it's pretty predominantly claimed that use of the IUD only affects the local uterine tissue and doesn't exert systemic effects in addition to that. But what we know about how hormones circulate through the blood and affect cognition, we figure that that's probably likely not fully the case. So we created a novel model of the IUD, something our lab has never done before, but I was really excited to find out how release of the hormone that we used by an IUD as opposed to subcutaneous injection, which is systemic circulation, could impact cognitive outcomes. And so we created a model of a Levonorgestrel-Releasing IUD, which a common brand name for that would be Mirena, as well as a control blank IUD to determine whether insertion of an IUD with hormone affects cognition, as well as insertion of an IUD without hormones, so having anything in the uterine cavity at all could impact cognition. Upon preliminary analyses, found some pretty strong interactions where the effects of the type of IUD inserted at surgery, whether it was hormone-containing or blank IUD with no hormone, differed depending on whether the animals were ovary intact or whether they had been ovaryectomized, which is the surgical removal of the ovaries. But at the end of the study, we discovered that a portion of the IUD-treated treatment groups had expelled their IUDs over the course of the study. So we could no longer attribute the effects that we saw to the presence of the IUDs. And so that kind of sparked a new question of interest for us. Why would some of the treatment groups expel IUDs, whereas one of them, all of the animals, maintained IUD placement? So that's something that we're starting to become interested in and potentially look at inflammatory factors and how the hormone that we use might have some anti-inflammatory properties to prevent IUD expulsion.